is David Mann. I've been a drone hobbyist, drone videographer for about 4 years now. My fleet consists entirely, until today, of DJI drones. I have a Phantom 4, a Phantom 4 Pro, and an Inspire 1. Been enjoying flying and taking aerial videos very much over the past few years, but I've been looking for something new, and over the past few months been doing a lot of reading about the Autel Evo 2 line of drones with the 3 different camera configurations, and I finally decided my next drone was going to be an Autel Evo 2 Pro. I ordered the Autel Evo 2 Pro rugged bundle from a company called obdprice.com in China. However, COVID-19 pandemic, as many of you are aware, has caused all sorts of worldwide shipping issues, particularly with getting materials from one country to another. I've been in contact with a very wonderful person in obdprice.com's customer service department, Judy Pam. She worked with me over the past few weeks, and we ultimately were able to come to a deal where she was able to ship me my bundle through UPS air freight after UPS once again started flying freight, particularly drones from China. It's been a long haul. I ordered this drone on April 9th. It is now May 18th. It just arrived this morning. But the actual ship time, UPS from China, has been just about 6 days. So once we finally got all that arranged, it got here pretty quickly. I also ordered, at the same time, from what I thought was a different company, a spare battery and the multi-charger. It turns out that that company is I think it's Autel Pilot, also Chinese based, is a sister company. So when they fulfilled this order, Judy said, "Hey, would you like us to ship that other order in the same package?" And I said, "Absolutely." So we're going to find out. We're going to open this thing up, and we're going to see exactly what we have here. This is the first package that I've received that I've ever disinfected while it was sitting on my porch. Used Lysol and wipes to wipe it down, because it's had quite a travel. It went from China to South Korea to Anchorage, Alaska, to Louisville, Kentucky, and finally here to Texas. It looks like it's very well wrapped. Let's see what we have in here. Okay, got some good padding, which I always like to see. And well, so far I'm only seeing one box in here. There it is, Evo 2 Pro, and I'm not seeing anything about a rugged bundle. So, another concern. Well, this may just be an unboxing. Nope, I was wrong. It is the rugged bundle. Little lock latches right here. You press with your thumb, and then it releases. Okay. And there it is. Well, it looks like they actually packed the extra items that I ordered right here in the case, which is great. The rugged bundle itself would actually only be these items right here. Okay? So you have the Autel Evo 2 Pro drone, the remote, one spare battery, and of course the case, and then of course your charging cables, etc., which we'll take a closer look at. And then to that, because this does not come with the rugged bundle itself, is the multi-charger that I ordered, which is a nice storage spot right there, and another spare battery from Amazon.com. About a week ago, I ordered another spare battery, and have that, so I now have a full suite of 4 batteries, including the one that comes in the drone, which we're going to take out right now. Oh, this is exciting. Been waiting so long for this to get here, and there it is. The Autel Evo 2 Pro, which is called a 6K camera, but actually if you look at their website, Autel is very honest about the fact that the highest resolution during video recording is really 5.5K, but it can do that at up to 30 frames a second, and then in 4K it can go up to 60 frames a second, and then at 2.7K it can go up to 120 frames a second. So there it is. And let's go ahead and just, first time I've done this. And I do not own any of DJI's Mavic series of drones, so I do not have a compact folding drone. This is my first one. I'm very pleased to now have that in my collection. But this drone certainly takes collision avoidance, to the very next level. It actually has a total of 12 black and white cameras all around the drone that are used for collision protection, 2 in every direction. So there you have 2 on the top, 2 on the left side, 2 on the right side, 2 in the rear, 2 in the front. Here's the 2 cameras in the bottom. They spread them out quite a bit. So those are the collision avoidance cameras, and would also be the vision cameras for when it's approaching a landing. And then you have 2 very bright lights that can come on during landing, and then the sonar transmitter and sonar receiver. Next, in the box, you will get a number of connectors. In this little long bag, there are 2 cables. These are to be used to connect the remote controller to an Android device. These 2 connectors have on this end, I guess you call this the right angle end, a micro USB connector, but of a specific type, like a perfectly rectangular connector. And then one of these cables at the other end also has a micro USB connector to go into certain phones that would have that. But it is a slightly different shape, and that's either the A or the B shape, where it's slightly rounded on the left and the right side. The other one goes from the square, rectangular shaped micro USB to a USB-C connector, which is used in some of the more recent mobile devices that are being released. Neither Autel nor DJI ever includes a lightning cable to connect to an iOS device, either an iPhone or an iPad. So you'll have to provide your own cable for that, like I have currently. And you can get these cables online from a number of sources on Amazon.com or eBay. And so I got a relatively short cable. It could even be shorter than this. The other cable that you get is in this bag, a much longer cable, and this has got a regular USB A type connector on this end, which plugs into charger. And then on the other end of that cable is the slightly rounded micro USB connector, which was a little confusing because when you look at the connection port right here on the left, on the front of the remote, it has a perfectly square shape to it. And so when I first looked at that connector, I said, well, that doesn't appear to be the right connector because this one has rounded edges. But in fact, it goes into there just fine. And then you've of course got the AC plug adapter that goes from here into your wall socket, and that's how you would charge the remote. And notice with a mobile device you can orient the antennas up if you like, and they'll be behind the device, so not being blocked. Or you can of course rotate them to the downward position like this, and as you're holding the remote you always want to keep these parallel and aimed directly at your aircraft. Interesting note, on the box that my rugged bundle came in, I have looked all over this box, front, back, sides. No, there is no indication on here anywhere that I can find that this box would contain just the drone by itself or the rugged bundle version, which means it comes with this case, which is when I opened the box earlier, I was actually pleasantly surprised to find that it had the rugged bundle case inside. So this is the first video, this one I'm recording, of any I've seen on the internet that actually shows a Autel Evo 2 rugged bundle package being opened. And so if you get this in the mail and you open up and you pull this out of the box and you go, wait a minute, it should say rugged bundle on here somewhere, don't get distressed until you open the box. Because when I opened mine, this was inside. So this takes up exactly the same amount of space as the foam packing does in the model that comes without the rugged case. Just interesting note. I'm not sure. And even on the side over here where it's got all the serial numbers, it just lists the serial number. One for the aircraft remote controller and the gimbal, and I'm not sure what the top one is, but it doesn't describe it except as a part number. So maybe that's the serial number of the case. So here is the Autel Evo 2 Pro Rugged Bundle, case open, showing everything that comes with the Rugged Bundle kit. You get, of course, a spare battery, 2 slots for additional spare batteries, a slot to put the multi-charger in, the Autel Evo 2 Pro drone itself, which is equipped with its own battery, so that's a total of 2 batteries that you get in the Rugged Bundle kit, and then the charger, two cables to connect the remote controller to either a micro USB or a USB-C type connector on a mobile device, a much longer cable to connect from the full-size USB connector to a micro USB connector. This one would be for charging the remote controller itself, so you've got a nice length there to work with. And then of course the AC cable for the charger, instruction booklet, 2 spare sets of propellers. Now if you want to connect the remote controller to an Apple iOS device, an iPhone or an iPad, you're going to have to buy your own third-party USB to Lightning connectors. I'm showing 2 different lengths here. You can order these from any number of vendors on Amazon.com or eBay. You get the remote controller, and then you got plenty of storage for extra cables, memory cards, etc. back here. Alright, just a quick overview of the Autel Evo 2 Pro rugged bundle storage box and everything that fits inside of it. Here is the Autel Evo 2 Pro rugged bundle case. Here I'm showing it fully loaded up with not only equipment that the case rugged bundle came with, but some additional items. So now I'm showing a total of 3 spare batteries. Just one of them comes with the rugged bundle. We've got a slot here for the multi-charger, the Autel Evo 2 Pro drone itself with another battery, so that's a total of 4 fully charged spare batteries you can have with you. The remote controller goes here, the charger adapter here, the AC cable for the charger adapter, spare cables, the accessory cables to connect the remote controller to either a micro USB or USB-C type connector on a mobile device. I've got the spare propellers here. I've actually got a little box here where I've got some parabolic reflectors for the antennas, which were originally designed for a Mavic 2 Pro, but I found that they work just perfectly on here as long as they're separate reflectors. And then if you want any ability to connect your remote device to an Apple iOS device, an iPhone or an iPad, you're going to have to buy third-party cables, which are available from multiple vendors on eBay or Amazon, so that you've got your required lightning connector to go into your iPhone or your iPad. Close the box up. I have determined that this case is extremely high quality, very rugged. The closures are very secure. There is no ability to lock the closures, so that might be a con. But the overall case dimensions and quality make it appropriate and perfectly suited for transportation in an automobile, easily transported in an airplane. The dimensions of this case being 16.5 inches wide and 13 inches from front to back, make it very easy to fit under any airplane seat, even the express jets with the 1 row of seats on one side and the 2 rows of seats on the other. In fact, this case quite possibly could fit in the overhead bin of those express jets. So very pleased with the quality of this case. This is the one that is going to be shipped if you order directly from Autel or you purchase it from a Chinese based supplier. It is the original Autel Evo case. I understand that an alternate case may be supplied if you order the rugged bundle kit from a US distributor, and you can find some videos online discussing that larger case. I think both cases have their advantages, pros and cons. The biggest advantage of this, of course, in addition to being very high quality, very rugged, very high quality foam, very dense. I like the fact that all the batteries and the multi-charger and the drone itself are fully nestled, and the remote controller fully nestled, completely surrounded by protective foam with a nice thick layer on the bottom to protect it from any bumps like that. There were no odors when I opened up the case, even for the first time. The remote controller is very secure in here. So if you want a case that is the smallest possible and yet still provides a lot of expansion area. I mean, you're not going to need more than 4 charged batteries. You can have the multi-charger with you. You've got a space here where you could even buy the 12-volt adapter for charging your battery, so you're fully mobile ready. All your cables, etc., and then of course the remote controller itself. I also like the fact that the foam in the lid is firmly attached. I hate when I buy a new case and the foam in the lid wants to keep falling out. I've pulled on it in multiple places. It seems to be glued across its entire surface area to the lid, so that is very good. If you get this particular rugged bundle version with this case, you will be very happy. And I think you will find situations in which you're going to be able to take this case along with you, particularly on airplanes that would present more of a challenge with a much larger case. So there you have it, the Autel Evo 2 Pro Rugged Bundle. And just so you can see it, it is the case coming from Autel Robotics. Thank you very much. So here's the Autel Evo 2 multi-charger, and you can see that the charging adapter, this is the cable that goes to a micro USB connector to connect to the remote to charge it, and then the other connector is to directly charge a battery, or it can just be attached to the base of the multi-charger. So on additional playing around with the multi-charger, I found that it has 2 modes. The mode it's in right now, where the light is flashing green, in which the battery with the greatest charge is selectively charged first, and then I assume what's going to happen is the second highest charged battery would be second, and then the third highest battery third, and then this the battery with the lowest charge would be charged last. But if you like, press the button again, and now you see it flashes blue, and first it tests all the batteries, and the battery that is now being charged is the battery with the lowest charge. The light just pulsates on and off blue when it's in this mode. So interesting, give you that option on how you want your batteries charged.